Okay, you guys, I am back with another video. So I had an encounter. Um, damn, was it last week? It had to be last week because today is just yeah, it was last week. I got the receipt from the day that I was there, know the time and everything. So it was last week. I went and got an oil change. Um, Now, mind you, I work on my own on my truck because I don't trust people. And every time that I try to trust a motherfucker, they always uh make me remind me of why I don't trust people and why, me being who I am, God's chosen number one. I have a really big mission and purpose in the land. And people know who I am. I am the high priestess, the supreme witch, the divine feminine, God's only chosen reader. So there are a lot of people who think that they have power just because they have positions in the physical realm. They think that they have power. And so I've been telling y'all about all this organized crime against me. And so this is just another organized crime against me. So they knew that I was going because I had looked it up like a week or two before. All right. So they began to plan. And some type of way they connected on my devices, and they know like when I'm looking up stuff and when I'm going places. So I peeped game. I seen the nigga on the phone, the white dude that was doing the service. He was giving me lip. Okay. He was very rude. There was another dude that purposely walked in the bathroom on my daughter. This was them trying to get a reaction out of me, trying to put me in a low vibrational state. But I know who I am. I know the power that I have. I know that as soon as I leave this motherfucker, karma is getting ready to ignite in their lives. So I went to Take 5 on Rayford Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And it's down the road from it's a nail salon that we used to go to. And I can't even call the name of it right now, but I think it's to Take 5. It's like right there by Harris Teeter, I think that is. On Rayford Road. Down the road from that Circle K. Unique Nails, I think that's the name of it. Down the road from there. But it's Take 5 on Rayford Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And mind you, there's only certain places in Fayetteville, North Carolina where I absolutely know how to get to without GPS. So I had the GPS it so they knew that I was going. And when I was looking for it, actually, this one was the only one that came up. And then I later Googled it when I got back home and seen that there were other Take 5s in Fayetteville. This was the one that came up because this was the one that they wanted me to go to. So I went. All right. Now, that was my last time ever letting anybody do anything on my truck. I don't give a fuck what it is. An oil change, I can't even get an oil change and, not have to worry about having to fix some shit afterwards. So I've told y'all about, damn, did I tell y'all about that? I don't know if I told y'all about that. About the mobile mechanic. I did on my other channel. That one is on Boss Lady Repairs. Damn, I'm gonna have to do a separate video about the mobile mechanic. Avern, I can't remember his last name, but I'll check my stuff to see. I'll do a separate video about him to tell y'all about him. Well, actually, I'll probably just go ahead and do it with this one since it's popping in my spirit. So Take 5. Went to go get an oil change. Now, I'm like, they can't, ain't no damage they can do. It's just an oil change. That's a motherfucking lie. So I seen dude when he was on the phone. I caught the play when he left and had to go get something for the Range Rover that was in front of me. And mind you, I have a dash camera that is always on, even when I'm not in the truck. These dummies. So I got they tag number. There were some other people that pulled up. When I pulled up, he moved me to the left, the one on the left behind the Range Rover with the I think it was Georgia tags. So when I was looking around, I was like, and then my intuition went off. I was like, it's getting ready to be some bullshit. So immediately, the nigga, when I pulled up, started being rude. the dude had already walked in the bathroom on my daughter on purpose. And then like he wanted to apologize, but he was like making gestures, and then he came over there her side and was like asking her was she good and stuff, and I'm just looking like, nigga, I know what y'all doing. That is not nothing for me to react off of, nigga. You're going to have to pay for that. And you are not going to be able to deal with your karma when God and my ancestors get on your goddamn head. So I don't be worried about stuff because I know who I am, and I know that, you know, God don't play about me. My ancestors don't play about me. My angels, my guides, the 7 African powers, the Orisha, the spiritual realm does not play about me. So I know that your whole life getting ready to be fucked up right as soon as I leave, nigga. Shit is getting ready to start taking effect. You feel me? And so, I'm like, all right, can't nothing happen, you know, with an oil change. Bullshit. So I was already getting ready to do some service on my truck, and I had disclosed that while I was there, because he was like, you know, it's running hot, and I'm like, running hot, you know, my gauge wasn't going up, saying that it was running hot. And so I was like, yeah, I know, I gotta change the radiator. So I seen the dude when he put his hand there. They told me to pay attention to where he put his hand at and pay attention to that area. So I was like, all right, I'm playing dumb, you know, acting like I don't know that, you know, it's possibly going to be some bullshit when I leave this motherfucker. So I get home and I start, you know, got my mind right, get ready to take my radiator out. Get to the radiator. I'm trying to take the little piece off the transmission cooling line off. And I noticed that there's a slight bend in it that wasn't there before I got there. Not only that, it took me a couple days to find out what else was going on. The nigga took out the goddamn, he removed the little pin that holds the transmission cooling line in place because it wasn't loose before I went. Okay, it wasn't loose. I didn't have no transmission cooling line issues. But all of a sudden, since I went and took my truck to get an oil change, and the dude that was talking to me, the white boy, he was distracting me. He was talking to, this is what they do now. This is how they do it. But he was talking to Zoo. And I was, you know, paying attention to him talking to Zoo. He was distracting me and holding my attention while the other dude was doing what he needed to do. So not only did he bend the transmission cooling line, he took out the pin that holds the transmission cooling line in place. And before I fix it, I'm going to take a picture because now I've had to patch it up. So I'm gonna take a picture of the patch that I put on it. When I take the transmission cooling line off, I'm going to take off the mold that I put on it to seal up the hole, and take a picture of what it looks like, because when I went over there and I was getting ready to take it off, it started bending, and I was like, it ain't supposed to be bending. He had put like a little dent in it to make it do that. But not only that, he had took out the pin so that I would have a leak. And the way they did it was they put the little hole, the little bend in the hose, and loosened up. So he took the whole hose out, loosened up the little thing, put the hose back in, took the pin out. So what they were trying to do was make it look like the leak was coming from one place when really it was coming from another place. So what they wanted to do was make me be driving and, you know, my transmission, you know, just completely go out so that it could cost me money, a whole lot of money to fix it, and then it would cost me a whole lot of energy to attempt to put a transmission in. This was they plan, but it failed. So I sealed up the hole from where they put the little dent in it, and where I started taking it out, and it was bending. Okay, and once I sealed up that hole, I seen that the little piece that it goes into was loose, and so there was a leak there too. So they created 2 leaks while I was there. And that's the same thing they did with the mobile mechanic when they took when I had to fix the wheel bearing. When I had stopped to the little thing, he was saying that it was the transfer case. But when I was looking, I was like, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It didn't sound like it was coming from there. I ended up finding out after Avern from the mobile mechanic had quoted me like $2,300 for something that only cost me like $100 to fix, doing it myself and getting the part. It was the wheel bearing, but he told me I needed steering knuckles. He told me that the steering knuckles was discontinued. He wasn't gonna be able to get that part. He told me I needed CV axles. He told me I got the quote. He told me I needed $2,300 worth of work done to my truck when it only cost me $100 some dollars to do what was actually done. But since I had took everything apart, I went ahead and I took pictures of the wheel bearing and the pieces. I think I did a video or something. But he gave me a $2,300 quote when the job all I needed was a wheel bearing. Okay, I didn't need a steering knuckle. There was nothing wrong with it. The CV axle wasn't nothing wrong with it. But I had went ahead and bought all the parts, so I can fix it. I bought the steering knuckle was good, so I didn't. I bought that, but then I sent them back. I bought the CV axle. I bought the wheel bearings. I bought the tie rod ends, inner and outer. I did the upper and lower ball joints. I just did everything on that side, that I seen, could possibly be wrong. But I had to figure out, isolate the problem to figure out what it actually was, because he was shooting me a monkey wrench. But this is the type of organized crime they do. They get these people, they pay these people to confuse you, to make you spend unnecessary money, to make you do stuff that, because then he even said it, and when a motherfucker start talking to me and, their mannerisms, when I'm looking at their movements and stuff, they think that I don't see them, but I really be paying attention to everything. So when he was like that I needed a steering knuckle, and I started looking up and I'm looking at the steering knuckle, like the steering knuckle ain't broke. There ain't nothing wrong with this motherfucker. This just holds everything. So that's when I was like, he just trying to make me feel like I ain't gonna be able to fix my truck. And they trying to get me in a low vibrational state, a very stressful out. They trying to disturb my peace, basically. And so I went through those motions with that part. It took me longer to fix it that time because I had to walk back and forth to the store like a couple of times. The parts that I got from the part stores, like I can't even get a part from a part store that's in my city because they're gonna give me something that don't fit, or they're gonna give me something that's fucked up. And so when I went to Napa, I had got the inner and outer tie rod ends because I thought that's what it was, but I found out later that that wasn't what it was. So when I started diagnosing, I just went ahead and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just buy all the shit and buy it for both sides. And by the time I take all this shit off and put the shit back on, I figure out what it is. But then when I went up under there and started pulling shit apart, I found out that it was the wheel bearing. And, I had the wheel bearing. So, but the tie rod end that I got from Napa, they gave me the wrong one on purpose. And then I couldn't take it back because I had already installed it. But I end up still getting my money back because, when you protect it and when people doing stuff wrong, they end up having to steal. I got that motherfucker for free, basically. Just like Avern, he came and diagnosed my goddamn truck, misdiagnosed it for free. Because, first of all, you told me a whole bunch of shit that wasn't fucking wrong with it. The mobile mechanic, he's out of Shannon, North Carolina, I think it is. Avern, themobilemechanic.com. But, and I got the footage, like I got, the video footage from when he was here. And I've already, saved it so I can, you was here. I got the quote from when he quoted me. I got pictures of what was actually wrong. I still got parts in there that I ain't put on, but I went ahead and did everything on the right side. I'm going to go back and do the stuff on the left side later. But when I went to take 5, and that's just me going ahead and telling y'all about them. When I went to take 5, they bent my transmission cooler line. When I went and was trying to disconnect the transmission cooler line from the radiator, it caused it to be in more, which caused it to break. Well, which caused it to break more. So I had not just a small hole that they put in it, I had a larger hole. So what they were trying to do was do some damage that wasn't going to be noticeable, so that I would go through the motions of spending unnecessary money, spending unnecessary energy, and wouldn't fix the problem in time enough, and then my transmission would go out, and then that would be another problem, that I can't easily fix. But I found out that I'm wiggling the thing like this shouldn't be loose. It wasn't loose before I went there. Like, I didn't have these problems before I went, because if I had a problem before I went, we know that I didn't have the problem before I went to Take 5, because if I had a problem before I went to Take 5, I would have been, looking for the stuff to fix it and service it. But, I got the evidence from me not having, I didn't have no problems with the truck before I went to Take 5, basically. And after I went to Take 5, my transmission cooler line got a hole in it, got 2 leaks in my transmission cooler line. And, I seen the mannerism. I seen the black dude when he was on the phone while I was there. And then the white dude, he was distracting me while the black dude was doing what he was, removing the pin, taking it out, unloosening the screw, putting it back in, and, creating the problem. And so the white dude, this is another thing they always tell on themselves. He was saying, because the oil that they were trying to give me, he was trying to make me spend more money. And I was like, nah, I'm only spending like $50. And so he was trying to give me some shit that was $70, but really he was just charging me that much, but he was still gonna give me the bullshit. So the only reason I really went was to get my oil filter changed, because I just didn't feel like fucking with it, and it's just been hard for me to get it off. But now, the next time that I change it, which won't be till next year, the oil filter, I'll change the oil. I can drain it and put more oil in it, but I won't change the filter again till next year. But the next time I do it, I'll just, because I got some little cap things, I'll just get every tool that you can get to change a fucking oil filter, and get all the tools, and then I'll get up under there and go through the motions of figuring it out myself, okay? Figuring out how to get the oil filter off, because I don't have that man strength, so I'm going to have to figure out what type of power tool I can get. And I just got to download on what type of power tool I can get to get up in there and get that motherfucker off, because I need some power tools. So, Take 5 on Rayford Road, organized crime. They put 2 leaks in my transmission hose, my transmission cooling hose, in an effort to make my truck fuck up, okay? And Avern from D Mobile Mechanic, he's in Shannon, North Carolina. He came and gave me an outrageous quote. Just didn't provide the service that I asked him to provide. I told him to tell me what was wrong with my vehicle. He told me stuff that wasn't wrong with it. Okay, and then he even told me, he was like, well, if I take it down and, and all this, they always give themselves away, because listening to them talk, like, I always hear the bullshit. I always hear the deceit. I always hear them trying to confuse me, them trying to make it seem like it's one thing when it's really another. I always hear it, because I just have those type of ears, and I have spiritual gifts, bro. Like, you can't trick somebody who is connected to God, who talks to God, who gets messages directly from God, who gets messages directly from their ancestors, from the spiritual realm, from the unseen. You can't trick me. Okay? And they keep trying, and they so fucking dumb. They keep exhausting resources and money and time and paying people to do shit, when every time that they try to get me, like, I always show them, like, nigga, I am not gettable. Like, I am not the type of person that you can, like, trick. Like, I am not trickable, bro. Like, it might seem like it, because I'm just listening. When I'm listening, and God has put me in these positions, And sending me to these places, it's just so y'all karma can ignite. You know what I'm saying? Because God don't play about me. And so we are taking down this whole organized crime ring. Every single person that has ever done anything that is a part of organized crime, that is on the bandwagon of organizing crime, y'all all going to prison. All the businesses, y'all gonna be getting sued, not by just me, but by your other business partners. It's gonna be a whole lot of shit getting ready to go on in y'all lives, and y'all coming down. The whole organized crime ring is coming down. Okay, because they heard that call that y'all made to the nigga that worked at Take Five, the black dude with the bald head. Like, y'all are on camera, not just on y'all cameras. There are other cameras in surrounding the area. You fucking dummies. I'm keeping all the receipts. Every time I go to the store, there's someone gang stalking me. I'm keeping all the fucking receipts, bro. I got every receipt every time, every day. Nigga, bro, y'all are not getting away with what y'all have been doing, not to just me, but everybody else. Y'all not getting away with targeting chosen people. Y'all are not getting away, especially with me, number one. My mission real big. I got the biggest mission in the land. I'm the number one, nigga. Y'all not getting away with it. Period. God is just wrapping y'all up in y'all own web. God is just taking me some places that he taking me to just so he can get the motherfuckers there. Y'all going to prison for life. Okay? I was just looking at my eyelashes. Y'all don't mind me. But that's what I got on here to tell y'all about organized crime. Avern at Mobile, the Mobile Mechanic in Shannon, North Carolina. And then Take Five on Rayford Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I don't know who made the calls. I know I got on my dash cam, and I got to get me some more SD cards too. But on my dash cam in my truck, I got on video the tag number for the Range Rover that was in front of me. And so I also seen that Range Rover. Like, they sat around while I was in the area. I didn't see them leave until right before I was leaving. I seen them leaving out of the Harris Teeter parking lot. So I pay attention to everything, bro. I don't miss nothing, because while y'all thinking y'all running around playing and shit and getting y'all shit together, God, my ancestors, my team is having me looking around, looking like I'm just having a good old time with my kids. But I see this nigga on the phone. I seen this nigga leave and act like he was going over here to do this, to get that. This nigga is taking extra long. They moved me from over here to over here for why? Because they got certain people in certain positions that's going to be doing certain things. So I motherfucking know what the fuck is going on. Even when y'all don't think that I know, nigga, I see y'all. This eye right here is wide the fuck open, nigga. My intuition all the way on goddamn fleek, nigga. They told me that it was some bullshit going on before I rolled up in there, but they didn't want me to leave. They wanted me to go on through it so that we could get y'all ass. So, you fucking dummies, y'all going to prison. Every single one of y'all. Every single one of y'all. Every law official. Every judge. Every lawyer. Every civilian. Every motherfucker that worked at a Take Five, at a Food Line, at a goddamn Bose, at a goddamn Fresh Foods, at a goddamn, anywhere. Walmart, nigga, everywhere they goddamn work. This organized crime at the Walmarts. And every time that they organize crime, they do stuff where, all right, we're going to get a reaction out of her this way. No, you're not. I'm going to look at you like you dumb because you think I'm dumb. And then I'm going to expose your ass on my motherfucking YouTube channel. And when I expose you, that's going to give the U.S. Marshals and the law officials that's watching me tail on your ass. That's going to give them the go ahead and tap in on all y'all shit. You dummies. I am not the average nigga. Okay? I'm not the average nigga. I'm not the average chosen one, nigga. Yeah, I'm the most powerful in the land, and y'all gonna understand. Okay? What the fuck I'm saying? Understand, nigga. I'm not no dummy. Period. I might act. I do a great job at acting dumb. I do a great job at acting dumb. Because I really be having these niggas think, okay, yeah, we got it this time. We got it this time. Nah, nigga. I seen that. I seen that. I seen that. And I seen that. I paid attention to everything. And not only that, what's wrong, dude? When y'all doing the stuff, they tell me, they be telling me, pay attention to this, pay attention to that. I was talking to my daughter and they was like, look up. I look up, the nigga over here on the phone getting the call. I said, all right, that's the call. You know, I'm looking at everything, bro. I see y'all. I see y'all, man.